Three news stories for you. Firstly, viewers, we know that fighting is still going on Tigray Afar border. And there is no deployment of Ethiopian National Defense Force on Afar side of the border, while TDF is still in Afar. Some Afar activists say that Ethiopian government, Ethiopian National Defense Force, are betraying Afar region. But what is the real picture? Why is there no ENDF on a far front? Is it a deliberate strategy, or ENDF is betraying the people of Afar region? Secondly, another leader, another head of state is visiting the UAE. Yesterday, PM Abiy of Ethiopia was in the UAE. Today, a few hours ago, Israeli president departed for the UAE. And now, just an hour ago, Somali PM Mohammed Roble has left for the United Arab Emirates. Thirdly, viewers, we have not discussed Western Tigray, Amhara, Welkait, Tigray in the past few days. What is the situation there? Has TDF made any significant gains into Welkait? And which areas in Welkait are under TDF control? What about Eritrea Tigray border, Shiraro, Edigoshu? We have some updates for you from these fronts. Firstly, viewers, Ethiopian National Defense Force is not deployed on Afar Tigray front, where fighting is still going on in several borders like Abala, Megale, the Lol, Berhale. Why is that? While some Afar activists complain that ENDF is betraying the people of Afar, but that is not the real picture. ENDF and Afar regional government are on the same page. There are no disagreements between Ethiopian National Defense Force and Afar regional government. Have a look at this picture, a few pictures for you. The pictures are from Wuldia. In Wuldia today, a ceremony was held to give awards to the members of Ethiopian National Defense Force. Who participated in this ceremony? Firstly, General Ababa Tadesse, top ENDF general, perhaps the topmost after Birhanu Jula. He was there. Secondly, Afar regional president was also there. Awol Arba was in this ceremony. So you see that Afar regional president and ENDF general, both are giving awards to ENDF members in Wuldia today. They are on the same page. It's not that there are some serious disagreements between ENDF and Afar regional government. If there is no ENDF on Afar front, it is a deliberate decision. It is a calculated decision of Ethiopian federal government and Afar regional government. And secondly, we now know that Ethiopian Air Force is operating on this front. In previous video, I told you about airstrikes on Rabati, on Berhale fronts. Ethiopian Air Force is part of Ethiopian National Defense Force, obviously. It's a federal force. So if drones are operating, if Ethiopian bombers are operating on this front, it means that ENDF is part of this war. It's supporting Afar fighters. So we cannot say that there is no ENDF altogether, that ENDF is betraying the people of Afar. No. ENDF is on board right now. Perhaps ENDF knows that Tigray's operations are limited. Their scope is limited. That is why there is no deployment of ENDF on this front. If Tigray decides to go deeper into Afar towards Eritrea border, we might see deployment of ENDF on this front. So far, it's a a mutually agreed strategy of Ethiopian government, Afar regional government, and ENDF that ENDF's ground troops should not be deployed on Afar front. Now, secondly, viewers, UAE, where we are seeing several world leaders paying visits. We saw PM Abiy of Ethiopia yesterday visiting the UAE. Then, a few hours ago, Israeli President Jan Herzog announced that he was departing for the UAE. Now, an hour ago, we learned from Somalia that Somali PM Mohammed Hussein Roble has departed for the United Arab Emirates. So, UAE has huge footprints in this region, viewers, in Ethiopia, in Somalia, in Sudan, Yemen, obviously, Eritrea as well. One of those countries in the Middle East which has most footprints in this region is United Arab Emirates. But the UAE should try to play a constructive role if you have influence in these countries. UAE should try to bring sides together instead of taking sides. The UAE leaders must try to bring the people together. If they keep on fueling conflicts, ultimately, they'll pay the consequences for that in future. Lastly, viewers, Humra Welkait Tigray Western Tigray. People don't like it when I say Western Tigray. But that is what this region was called before the start of this war. Though there are disputes between Tigray and Amhara about this region. Now, what is the latest from this region? Last time when we covered this front, I told you about some places in Welkait to the east of Adi Rahmat's where there was presence of TDF. I told you TDF had made inroads into Welkait. We talked about Megaba and Korarat, that TDF had managed to reach these places. It was trying to move towards Adi Rahmat's. And secondly, we talked about Adi Goshu. There were rumors that TDF was in control of Adi Goshu. Now the latest. The latest, viewers, is that Tigray Defense Force is holding its ground in Welkait. There is still presence of Tigray Defense Force near Megaba and Korarat. That is what we can confirm. In the past few hours, some new reinforcements, TDF reinforcements have been seen arriving near these two places, Megaba and Korarat. What about TDF's advance towards Adi Rahmat? No, Adi Rahmat has not been taken by Tigray Defense Force so far. So it's just holding its ground, what it gained a few weeks ago. It is holding its ground near Adi Rahmat, to the east of Adi Rahmat, not near, to the east of Adi Rahmat. Secondly, Adi Goshu still situated volatile. We don't have any visual confirmation that TDF is moving from Adi Goshu towards Humra or in Adi Goshu. We have not seen any visual confirmation so far, though some Tigray-backed news sources say that Adi Goshu is under TDF control. But once again, fighting is being seen near Shiraro. We have seen several incidents in the past as well that Aratin forces were accused of shelling Shiraro. They were accused of carrying out attacks on Shiraro, near Shiraro. Once again, renewed clashes are being reported between Tigray forces and Aratin forces close to Shiraro. Shiraro is linked to Badme and Adi Goshu fronts. If TDF starts moving towards Badme, Shiraro becomes destabilized. If TDF starts moving towards Adi Goshu, Shiraro becomes destabilized. So Shiraro is key place in connection with both Badme and Adi Goshu. Once again, fighting, clashes being reported near Shiraro. Overall, we can sum up that there is a stalemate. Yes, there is a stalemate. TDF has managed to cross Tigray into Welkait, but it's still far away from border. Sudan Ethiopia border. It's not close to, it's far away from Humra. It's not close to Adiramat as well. So it's trying to advance into Humra, Welkait especially, but it's so far it's far away. It's somewhere close to Takeze, to the west of Takeze River. Perhaps negotiations are underway. That is why maybe the speed of TDF's advance is slow, or it is facing stiff resistance. That is why it has not been able to make any inroads close to Humra and Adiamut. But overall situation is still in favor of Amhara regional government, Ethiopian federal government, and Eritrean forces. They are still in control of major towns in Western Tigray. Thank you for watching.